This is Rob Savage, the director of Host, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 230. Tonight we're talking about Dashcam, which is currently streaming on demand for I think about $4.99, $5.99 on Amazon, something like that. I'm one of your co-hosts, Todd. We have Joe and we have Steve Men. How are you?
Good. We missed you, Todd.
Did
How's
you
it going?
now?
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Sitting in the hood, hanging with my homies, sipping wood.
That's right.
For those of you who haven't seen the movie, once you see it, you will understand.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the move went well. You're all settled in Texas.
Move's going. Don't have, as of recording, still don't have all our stuff, but that'll come later in the week. So by the time you hear this episode, I should be in the process of unpacking and making beds and making furniture and all that stuff. But eating a lot of food. We had barbecue last night.
Nice.
Burgers. There's a lot of food. Too much food.
Awesome.
Where are
Well,
you guys?
I look forward to visiting you for
Hell
Texas
yeah.
Frightmare next year, wherever it may be. I guess I know
TFW.
it's still going to be in Dallas, but it sounds like they're going to be changing venues. So
We have a little
excited
party
to
over
see what
here.
they decide. Definitely.
Yeah. Just want to mention we had our live hangout for the movie club on Friday. Want to thank everyone who stopped by. We talked about Night of the Creeps from the 80s, and it was a really good time. We had a lot of fun. We played the 60-second game with them, and yeah, just a lot of chatting. We're talking about
How'd they do?
I don't think a single person got one.
Huh. Everyone's always talking shit.
It's tough. Maybe someone got one. I don't remember. Maybe we played for a little while, so maybe someone got one. But it was definitely more not than they actually did. So it's a tough game for sure. You know, when you listen to it, it sounds easy, but when you're put under the pressure, under the light, it's tough. But yeah, it was a lot of fun though. And we're already starting our votes for next month. The theme for June is going to be underrated top 10 80s horror movies. So next month we have our 80s list coming up. So I'm trying to cram in a few movies. So I decided to make it the theme for the month, where a movie that maybe one of the three of us haven't considered for our top 10 that maybe other people, you know, are thinking about. I know we got Prowler out there. We got Possession, and we have Mr. Boogedy as current nominees, and we're taking nominees right now, and then we'll vote on the weekend. It'll be a fun time. So join our Discord if you want to join in.
I watched Possession like within the last couple of years, and man, that movie's a mind fuck of a movie. It would be a great discussion. So that would be my vote, I think, for movie club. That's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, I think the problem with that one is availability.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Is that
available on any stream.
Polanski? Right? Is it Polanski?
Is it Polanski?
It's someone. I think it's some famous director. I can't remember who.
Yeah, it is some famous. I don't remember who either, but
Yeah.
Everything good on your end, Joe?
If only we had a Google.
Yeah, it's
to look these
no,
things up.
it's
I think that you can instantly search for things.
It's Andrei Zulawski.
Andrei Zulawski. Okay, man. Maybe it's a different movie I'm thinking of though. That's the one with the woman, right? She's like pregnant or something like.
It's the one with
Is that
like the
Possession?
tentacle monster with Samuel.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes, Sam Neill. Yep, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Mhm.
I always thought that was a more famous director, but I guess not.
Right.
But that is a wild one. Yeah, everything's good on my end. Nothing really too exciting. I don't believe in the last week. I can't remember. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet over here, I think. But yeah, a lot of busy stuff coming up for me. Nothing horror wise, but yeah, golf Sunday yesterday. That was
Cool.
beautiful.
Mini golf
First
or real
time.
golf?
Real golf. Yeah,
What do you
Mini golf.
prefer?
real
We
golf.
played mini golf Saturday.
We did. Me and Steve. Yeah, played on the VR.
Oh, I gotta get mine out. It's plugging in actually over there.
Yes,
Charging.
do it up.
The internet
New,
finally.
yeah, new course.
Yeah, I gotta plug it in.
Yeah, and just so I can provide a little update from my little full moon rant last week.
No,
Still not settled. So
Did they respond to you though about it?
no, the full
Oh,
moon is
okay.
like they're not answering me at all. UPS and I are in a battle right now over for all fucking things. My evil bong box. So I got Puppet Master, which I'm grateful. But I didn't get evil bong yet, even though I paid customs. They're claiming I refused the delivery, and then they claim that my apartment number wasn't showing, which makes no fucking sense because I'm clearly in a neighborhood with just houses. It's a clusterfuck over there. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get at some point. Maybe at least pay me back. Like, just it's crazy shit.
I see, Steve. By the way, you went crazy on the autograph train recently. Got added a lot of horror celebrities to your wall there.
Yeah, well, it's not so much I went lately crazy on it. Is that I just happened to receive them all at the same time. Because when you order a consignment to save on shipping, I order like a bunch at once, but then I have to wait for all the celebrities to do their signings before I get my box. So I got it recently. I got I got Kathy Bates. I got the two Warrens, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. I got well, not horror, but George R.R. Martin today, and a bunch of James Jude Courtney. Just a bunch. Like I have a whole stack of autographs, and I got most of the living cast for Killer Clowns, including the three Chioda brothers. So yeah, it was a good haul for sure. And I just gotta find frames and room for them to be up.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just grabbed NECA just released their convention exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con, and I was able to pick up the Thing poster figure. The Thing was really, really cool, so I was happy to snag that. It sold out fairly quickly, I believe, but I'm sure they'll re-release it like they do with every other figure they do that is limited edition.
Yeah, I went to the Stranger Things pop-up
Oh, nice.
in Dallas at the mall, and it was cool. I'm glad it was free though. I couldn't see myself paying for it, but it was like a mini mock-up of what's it, Hawkins, right?
Yeah.
They had like, a little bike, one of the kids' bikes, and then they had Demogorgon fucking thing, and then like the living room setup with the lights and stuff like that so basically like a big photo op and
Right.
buy shit. But it was pretty cool. But I'm glad it was free. I definitely wouldn't want to pay for it.
Have you caught up on Stranger Things yet, Todd, or you been too busy?
No, I haven't even started season 4 yet.
Yeah, well, we'll probably talk
about it.
Excited
to discuss it.
Yeah.
You guys are already done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sick. I was sick 2 weeks ago, so I just binged it in like
it's been out for 2 weeks.
It's been out for
Memorial Day weekend.
A week and a half.
Week,
so.
yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yes. It was very good. But there's still 2 episodes to go, which is why we're like waiting to cover it until after July 1st. But very good. I would say it's their most horror-filled season so far. So
I haven't even started.
And
I haven't even done Obi-Wan yet. I need to do The Boys season 3.
Yeah.
I just finished Halo.
I know I'm behind on The Boys too. I gotta catch up on The Boys. I really like that show. Yeah. Absolutely. But before we get into questions, actually, I did want to wait until next week for horror news, because it is such a big story and it just broke. Neve Campbell will not be returning for Scream 6. She cites, here was her exact quote. She said, "Sadly, I will not be making the next Scream film. As a woman, I have had to work extremely hard in my career to establish my value, especially when it comes to Scream. I felt the offer that was presented to me did not equate to the value I have brought to the franchise. It's been a very difficult decision to move on. To all my Scream fans, I love you. You've always been so incredibly supportive to me. I'm forever grateful to you and what this franchise has given to me over the past 25 years. So sounds like
more money, more problems.
Sounds like they did not give her the money she wanted. But I mean, this is interesting, right? This will be the first movie without Sidney Prescott returning. But I don't know. I feel like the torch has kind of been passed, right? Like, and she was kind of useless, honestly, in the last movie. But it will be tough not to see Sidney return, I think.
Do they kill her off screen as revenge for?
No, because I think they bring her back in 7.
Think so?
Maybe.
My theory is that they're killing, like Star Wars, they're killing one of the 3 main characters in each of the 3 Scream movies. So I think Gail's gonna die in this one, and then Sydney in the last one.
Here's my question: is this a bargaining chip? Does she put this out there to say, "Well, fuck you guys, I'm not coming back," and then they're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Like, the call their bluff, and maybe they'll offer her more money. Because I know the fan base ain't gonna be happy about this. Especially the Scream fan base is pretty rabid, and I'm in like the biggest Scream fan page like on Facebook, and everyone's like, I'm boycotting without Sydney. It's not a Scream
They'll see
movie.
it.
Blah blah
They'll
blah.
see it,
Of course,
liars.
of course they
You'll
will.
see it.
Yeah.
Of course, they
it's
will.
like when they always boycott Call of Duty and all these things. Like, I won't do it. No, I won't do it. And the second it comes
It's the
out, they're
best
fucking
game, selling the game of the year every year.
It's like, yeah.
Maybe they're gonna kill her off in the first scene or something, and she's pissed.
Maybe they're gonna go like a Jamie Lee Curtis route where she was like on her last film contract, so they killed her off.
I mean, it's horror.
Yeah.
She can come back anyway, even if they kill
Of
her
course,
off, right? So
yeah, of course.
She come back as a ghost.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
So I guess
Be
we're
like
gonna
Star
be
Wars,
stuck.
where there's constant. There's gonna be Dewey in the background as a ghost. There's gonna be fucking Billy Loomis chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
This might be the end for Gail too. Then, like, right? Like will be the last remaining legacy character, so they might kill her off on this one and just get rid of all the legacy characters and move on with a whole new cast. Well, as Kirby is coming back, but I don't consider her a legacy
No.
character.
Yeah, I agree. Oh boy, let's. But I mean, I'll see. I don't care. Honestly, like you said, I don't think she had that big of an impact in 5, so I'm not that sad to see her go in 6. To be honest, I think I'm happy they're moving on with the current characters and not, going back so much in the past like they did in 5. So I think it's a good thing. To be honest with you, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shall see.
You guys ready for the questions?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, you can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast or on our Discord, where, like I said, we have the movie club and all sorts of cool discussions there. Only one set of questions this week, so it's going to be a short segment, and they are audio questions, and they come from Chuck. So, Chuck, what are your questions?
What's up, Horror Squad? Chuck here with a few fill in the blanks for you this time. First one, Blank is a movie that should have had a sequel, but never got it.
The Burning,
Yeah, that's a good one.
starring what's his face from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Jason Alexander.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm. George, that's a great question.
I was in the pool. Instead of the pool, he was in the lake. I was in the lake.
Right. God, that's one of the best, his best lines. What do you think, Joe?
I was unprepared for this question. Man, I don't know. It's great. Nothing's coming to my. I feel like every movie got a decent sequel, or got a sequel anyway that I would have liked to have seen. So I don't know.
All right, I got 3.
Okay.
First one, Trick or Treat. I think
Yes.
was due for a
Yeah.
sequel, 10 years ago. So
Makes sense.
I think that would be a good one. The next one is Freddy versus Jason. I would have liked to seen something done with those characters, but I understand that one because that's more of a rights issue than
I loved it personally.
I loved it too. That's why I want another one.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of teased another one at the end of it, so I thought we'd get something by now. And the last one is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think it's been due for a sequel for years, and they keep talking about a sequel. Who knows if it'll ever happen at this point, but I'd like to see one. So those are my 3. All right. Chuck, what is your second question?
Second, Blank is a studio that just needs to give up.
Studio. Does Platinum Dune still make movies?
I'm not sure.
They were doing all the remakes in like 2008.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they gave up, so my wish is granted. Netflix, go away.
No.
No?
So
Okay.
expensive.
No.
Netflix, it's like getting crazy.
I don't.
Yeah,
You
I
know-
canceled. I'm gonna have to re-up for season 4
Things.
though. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna go with anybody. I mean, just make movies. If they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. But I'm not gonna tell any studio to go away.
What about
Even
Full
full,
Moon?
even full,
I
was gonna say,
fucking Full Moon.
I'll say even Full Moon. Just turn out the bullshit you want, and you'll always, even if you think the movie sucked, there'll always be somebody out there who thinks their movie.
I want to talk to the people that like these movies.
Me
though,
too.
these past 3 or 4.
They're out there.
I guess.
Who I want to meet the person who's like 50-foot cam girl. That was like some fucking gold right there.
Top 10, baby.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Well,
like,
Well, we'll get into it later, but there was some people online saying that Dashcam is the best found footage movie since the Blair Witch Project. So
God.
I
If you
mean,
can get over the girl, sure. It's pretty good.
yeah, maybe.
But
yeah.
she's in the whole movie. In the movie. Want a smoothie.
Yeah, I agree. Full Moon, just because they were so good, and then lately it's just been absolute garbage. Since Corona Zombies, especially, but even before that, they were really starting to sink into. I don't know if have you guys like watched a lot of the Full Moon movies past 2015?
A lot of them.
I would say 90% of them, without even joking, promote like their store or their products within the movie. Like either they go to a store that sells Full Moon shit, or they talk about the Full Moon subscription. Like it's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. I've never seen a studio do that before. It's odd, and I don't know what the fuck's going on over there.
I'd love to work there. That'd be a fun job.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, it's
Imagine.
yeah, it's like no rules. It's just
Yeah, you just make whatever you want.
yeah, exactly. It's yeah. Anyway,
hold on. Are you guys gonna try out his podcast? I know Charles Band just started one.
I mean, I have the
yeah.
subscription, so I might as well. I know you did John.
Oh, you have to pay for it.
For what?
You have to pay for it.
Well, I had the Full Moon. They have.
Oh, it goes to there. Oh.
Yeah, it goes to there. I think you can maybe listen to it online as well, but there's the video version. So
I wonder if he talks about like the turn the studio's made this past decade.
Yeah, he's had John Carpenter. He's had Darcy
cool.
the Mail Girl, or Diana Prince, which is her birthday today. So happy birthday to Diana. I have mad respect for her because she's like a huge advocate for the horror genre. So I definitely am. And also Robert Englund's birthday today. So
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, happy birthday.
Was he like 75? I think
75.
He's old.
75. Yeah.
Welcome to my geriatric ward, bitch. It's Charles Band. Fuck, what's it called? Freak Show. Charles Band's Full Moon Freak Show. It's on podcast stuff.
Okay,
I'll give it I'll definitely give it a listen.
awesome. And Chuck, what is your final question?
Last but not least, blank is a character I would name my kid after. Thanks, guys. Look forward to the episode.
I already did. I named my daughter after the main girl in Slither.
Nice.
Did your wife know that?
Not till it was done.
All right. Yeah.
I tried to get her to let me name my son Ash, but she knew Pokemon was Ash, and that was kind of tricky.
Blair, after the Blair Witch.
Ooh, I like that.
It's a good name, actually.
Boy or girl or both? Either or.
But I guess both, right?
Works
Probably
both
more
ways, yeah.
girl, but I feel like it could go both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to go the same way as Todd. Ash for boy or girl, I think would be awesome. So yeah, that would definitely be mine for horror. And that's all the questions we got. So thank you everyone for sending in the questions. We couldn't do the segment without you. And now a word from Deadly Grounds Coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
What watch?
Well,
Watched.
Joe, you got yours, or I could do mine if
Sure, I can go. I only got one for this week, and it is a foreign horror movie. I believe it is Swedish or Finnish. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Ooh,
so don't
is it
quote
the
me on
Noonday Witch?
No, it's not. It's a 2022 release to America. It came out 2021 everywhere else, but this is a new release. You can get a VOD right now, I believe, for a $5.99 rental. And this movie is called The Innocents. So yeah, this one is about a sister and her two sisters. They move to a new apartment complex. One of the sisters is she's like a mute. There's clearly something going on with her there. She's, something, they don't really explain why, but yeah, I mean, she's just kind of, I think she's like autistic and nonverbal and whatnot. And the other sister's just a normal little girl. And she's this movie opens weird. Like, she's very fucking like abusive to her sister. And like, there's clearly a lot of like deep rooted anger towards that sister. And then from there, she meets up with two other little kids. The four of them all start playing together, and they discover together that they have powers. They have like secret superpowers that none of them really knew about. And some of them start using their superpowers for bad, while the other ones don't agree with it. And I'll leave it at that because I think probably the less you know going into this movie is probably the better for the better. Yeah, so like if you're it kind of reminded me of like Brightburn, Chronicle, but a lot more subtle than those movies. Whereas those movies go really hard into the superpowers and stuff. Whereas this one is definitely focuses more on the storyline rather than the powers and whatnot. But man, there's some really disturbing and stuff in here, like, so trigger warning. I mean, there's definitely some like animal cruelty that is very upsetting. There's abuse on children that is also pretty upsetting, and there was some stuff in here I was very shocked about. I mean, it's not like the sadness and stuff like that, but it's more just like stuff that kind of emotionally or mentally will kind of mess with your head a little bit, especially because it involves all children. I would say the horror elements are definitely light on this one. It's definitely more of a, I guess, like thriller than like straight up horror per se. But overall, like I definitely enjoyed this one. I wish it went a little further with exploring the superpowers and stuff like that. But overall, it was definitely an interesting watch, and it won't make my top 10 or anything like that. But I would watch it again. I mean, it was pretty good.
Sweet. All right. Real quick, I'll talk about Popcorn since you guys covered it, and I did watch it. I didn't like it, man. Did you guys like it overall?
I did.
Yeah.
I was the most positive on it.
Are you?
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
in the middle. I thought the concept was great, but the execution not so much.
Yeah, I hated the band. And then Joe told me it was set in Jamaica or something.
Yeah, they filmed it in Jamaica. Yeah.
It made sense. But my first one is Hobo with a Shotgun from 2011. Starring Rutger Hauer. This was the second time watch, but the first time since probably when it came out in 2011. If you haven't seen it, Rutger Hauer plays this homeless man that's just like, he's a nice guy. He goes around the country riding in trains and getting off and just shooting the shit and recycling. And he has this dream where he goes up to a pawn shop window and he sees a lawnmower for, I think let's call it $50. And he starts counting his money. He's like, damn, I don't have enough money yet. So he goes back and starts getting more cans and so on and so on. However, unfortunately for him, he's in a city where it's completely lawless, and you have this little douchebag guy and his two sons that just run the town, and they're evil, right? They murder people, they rape people, they peddle drugs. If you don't pay up for drugs, they maim you and stuff like that. And the hobo, he takes a liking to this young girl that he rescues from one of these gentlemen before she gets raped, and then that sets like the story in motion where he's like, you know what, I'm fucking done with this. I'm gonna clean up this town. And he goes back to the pawn shop and he has to make a choice between buying the lawnmower that he can now afford or a shotgun. And he picks a shotgun and he starts going on a rampage, killing everybody. Ultra violent, completely over the top. Trigger warning, there's a scene where they go fucking all out and this guy literally goes on a bus full of children with a flamethrower and lights the whole thing on fire. Later on, that bus full of children, or a bus from hell that's on fire, comes and takes his soul to hell, which is fucking completely insane. But it's kind of like a trauma without some of the bullshit that trauma has, if that makes sense. It's like it's grounded in that kind of reality, but it's more edgy. So Hobo with a Shotgun, I highly recommend. Rutger Hauer is amazing in it, rest in peace. And it's just a solid movie all around. So if you can grab it, Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yeah, and that was one of the Grindhouse trailers from that movie.
Yes, it was.
way back,
Yep.
which is awesome. And if I remember correctly, they had run a contest for like independent horror directors to make a movie or make a trailer and submit it in, and that was the one that won for North America, and that's why
That's awesome.
that one was in. So yeah, definitely a cool movie. My first one this week is a movie I watched through a screener, so I believe it's out on VOD, and that's 2022's You Are Not My Mother. This is a movie that Joe had talked about in the past and had recommended. It's a movie from Ireland. In this one, a girl lives with her mother and grandmother, and all of a sudden the mother disappears. So the girl tries to find her mother. Meanwhile, she's getting picked on by bullies at school and having a really tough time. and they say that her like family is super weird and stuff. Eventually the mother does come back, but as she's going kind of figuring out what happened with her mother, she starts figuring out that things are a little weird with her family and not everything is what it seems. And then it goes into kind of witchy family history type stuff. This is definitely a slow burn film, but I think this is one of those solid slow burn films that eventually ramps up and leads to a pretty cool conclusion, like a satisfying conclusion, one that just I thought was really awesome. Great performances all around, particularly the main girl. I think she does really a good job of, showing herself being bullied, but then also facing up to her family's history and everything like that. So that was awesome. Very eerie score. That was great. Visually, it's a very appealing film. And there's some pretty frightening scenes like that caught me off guard. So I thought that was really awesome. My issues with it is that there are a few odd decisions here and there that kind of I didn't really know what was going on, and the lore is a little unclear. So there are things that you're like, okay, why is this happening? They don't really explain this. So there's a little bit of that. And there's a super weird dance scene that was really fucking goofy to the point where I was like, okay, well, that's something they decided to do. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good film. Will it make my top 10? Probably not. I mean, it is right now, but I think it's like an 8. So hopefully it doesn't make my top 10, but definitely worth a watch if you find it. So that's You Are Not My Mother.
I agree. It was good. It's in my top 10 right now too. So I would definitely recommend people check it out too.
You think it'll stay there, Joe?
We'll see. I too would be surprised if it's gonna be in my top 10, it will be like
The low top 10, yeah.
7 through 10 or something like that.
This is a way back when on Friday the 13th, I watched Friday the 13th Part 5. And it doesn't get enough love, man. I know it doesn't have Jason in it technically. Tommy Jarvis is grown up. He's still dealing with like the trauma of him killing Jason Voorhees in Part 4. So he's like, probably late teens, early 20s, something like that. He goes to a mental institution, but it's, kind of different. He goes to basically like a community in a big house and ran a little differently, things like that. They have more freedom, things like that. But he's seeing shit. He's seeing Jason. And then, lo and behold, someone's coming around killing people again. Is it Jason? Nope. It's fucking Roy, the paramedic. Not a fan of Roy, but the movie itself, I think, is pretty good and underrated. Got Miguel Munoz from Return of the Living Dead. He's fucking so stupid in this movie. He's got enchiladas, so he has the shits. So he goes to the porta potty. He starts singing to his girlfriend, who's got to smell his shit outside the fucking wall, and they're singing, "Oh baby, ooh baby." I'm like, what's going on? But he dies without wiping his butt, which is always a fun fact to me. You got Reggie the Reckless, who has the funniest scream of all time. This tough kid the whole movie, and he screams like at the top of his lungs. It's so funny. You got the patients they're pretty cool, man. They're likable. You got Robin, who completely fucks with the guy that she likes or that likes her, and the stuttering gentleman. You got the goofy dancing 80s girl in her room that's doing like weird robotic movements and stuff. Overall, I think it's a really good movie, and you gotta get over not having Jason in it for those that don't like it just for that. So Friday the 13th, The New Beginning.
I agree. That one is a fun one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We needed you a few weeks ago, Todd, because like I was completely butchering the canon between part 2 and 3 because I went and saw parts 2 and 3 in the woods, and I was mix and matching the two movies together, and people said they were going crazy listening.
Yeah, dang, I need to listen. Yeah, 2, 3, 4 are great.
Yeah. Have you met what's his face Nunez?
No, man, he's the only one from Return
he's
that I
funny
haven't
as
met.
hell.
Yeah.
I met him. He was at Texas last September, and
Nice.
man, he was a riot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was outside, like just hanging out with all the fans after the con and stuff like that. He was
Tawana
super
man.
cool. Yeah, that's right.
All right. So my last one this week is a movie from 2014 that I watched over on Tubi. It was a rewatch, and that's Circus of the Dead. So Circus of the Dead is a movie about a bunch of clowns who kidnap.
Is that Billy Pond directed?
Yeah, Billy Pond directed and Bill Oberst Jr. starring. Yeah, so it's about a bunch of clowns who kidnap a family, and then they make the dad go through like a sadistic amount of stuff to try to get his daughters back. And basically it's an hour 45 minutes of these clowns torturing this guy and anyone that they cross in their path, and not much else. That's pretty much the entire movie. So this movie was made for $150,000, and I gotta say, for that low of a budget, they do a great job of like production value. There's like, the kills are gruesome, the shots are pretty good, the makeup is good, practical effects are convincing. So I got to give props for such a low budget to make the movie actually look like it had, maybe $1 million or $2 million budget. So that was really cool. Bill Oberst Jr. as the main clown, whose name is Popcorn, puts in a really chilling performance. One of his best that I've seen. Definitely better than Tickles the Clown. I'll give him that. It's terrifying. Like, he is on that entire movie and carries much of the film. So props to him for that. My negatives on this one, though, is one, an hour 45 of pure torture is too long. I think it should have been cut down a little bit. And two, there is no fucking joy to be had in this movie at all. It is strictly torture and strictly shit for the sake of doing it, And trigger warning on this one big time, because there is some really disgusting stuff. I mean, we're talking about rape and murders and decapitations, and
his penis is painted at one point, right?
Yeah, the tip of his penis painted like a clown before he raped someone. Yeah, I mean, he skull fucks a girl, and there's just a lot of really gross shit in this movie. So definitely a trigger warning on this one. But overall, it's, if you like, I guess, that kind of low budget sadistic stuff, this is definitely one of the better ones I've seen. So that's Circus of the Dead over on Tubi.
Mm-hmm. I think our first interview Todd and I ever did for the podcast actually was Billy Pond way back when.
Was it really?
I think, yeah, I believe it
was.
it was the first group one. The first one we ever did was me. I did the Mark Corvin, the composer of The Witch. Yeah. And then the first group one was with Billy Pond.
Yeah, he was nice.
And yeah, if you ever, he is literally at Texas Frightmare. He has a table every single year. So if you ever want to meet Billy Pond, that's the place to meet him. He always has. It's always Circus of the Dead. He's still promoting that movie to this day.
Is he ever making number 2? They tease it at the end of the first one. So
right, yeah, I think he's just
8 years ago.
I mean, he probably just doesn't have the money. I mean, I feel like he could do a decent crowdfunding thing. He has like a little bit of a fan following, so they could probably scrape enough money together maybe to make a second one.
Todd, he sounds like a job for us
there, though, for a little bit.
What was that?
First of all, we should definitely fucking be executive producers, which I did like 2 more. I don't remember if I showed you them, but I can't stop, man. It's like my new figure. I just fucking produce little horror movies. But no, he went through some health issues, so maybe that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
You got another one, Todd, or
I might as well. I have
I figured that you probably stacked up over the last couple of weeks.
All right, so my last one is I believe it's a Norwegian film, or maybe a Finnish film, but it's called Dead Snow, and it's a group of snowmobilers that go off into some mountain, fucking around, and they find a cabin. But hold on, Nazis in World War II had a little secret base nearby, and then back in the day, allegedly they all died, but they didn't find the bodies. But now they're zombies. So the zombies come up. They're Nazis, obviously, and they have to fight our heroes. Really cool gore. And you have to be in the mood to read subtitles, because it's not like a over-the-top action-filled movie where you can like kind of not pay attention and still get the gist of it. There's a lot of talking in there, so be in the mood if you're going to watch it that you're going to have to read, which is not a problem. But like I said, you have to have your mindset correctly. Gore's cool, zombies, the Nazi makeup, all the shit looks awesome. But it was just, at the end of the day, kind of average. I love a good zombie movie, but this one was a little bit, I didn't like any of the characters really. There was like a chubby dude that was like the comedic relief, and it was a weird scene, man. He goes out to the outhouse to take a shit, and he takes a shit, and we know like where in the process he was, because we were literally in there while he was taking a shit, right? So we're the viewers, we know he's taking a shit. Meanwhile, the girl comes out that he was talking to, which is very attractive. There's no way she's banging this dude. But here's where it gets weird. He's literally taking a shit on the toilet still, hasn't pulled up his pants, hasn't wiped, nothing. She's peeking through, and he's like, oh shit. And she comes in, and she's like, shh. And she climbs on top of him and starts fucking banging him. I'm like, hold on. He's taking a shit. He's actively taking a shit. And she's riding him on the porta potty. So that was like, it took me out of the movie from there. I was like, I'm done. But Dead Snow, solid gore, cool makeup, cool Nazi effects, and Finnish, Norwegian, something like that. So there you go.
I love that, Todd. You know, zombie Nazis, and you're like, oh yeah, this is plausible. A girl goes and rags a guy taking a shit. No, I'm out. This is too ridiculous.
Well, I mean, shoot. There's probably poop vapor in there.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, trivias.
Yes.
Trivia. So the overall standing is, let's see, myself at 29, Steve at 30, Joe at 20. No, Steve at 28, myself at 30, and Joe at 29. It's a tight race.
Yep.
And I just looked at the the bet. I have to have a dewy porn stash. Joe has to have blonde tips. And I don't know what you're supposed to do, Steve.
Also a mustache.
Oh, a stash. There you go.
I think the stash was both of us.
But for the quarter, it's at 5 for Todd, 5 for Steve, 4 for Joe. So close round still.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will go.
All right.
In the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Ooh.
Frankenfooter, played by who? Tim
Tim
Curry.
Curry.
Awesome. That was not part of the question.
Damn it.
He says he can make a man in how many days?
Ooh.
I was listening to the soundtrack this past Sunday, painting cabinets. So I was like, oh, I'll write this one down. How much time does Tim Curry claim he needs to make a man? How many days?
It's a great question.
14 days.
14 is on the board.
28.
28 days. Everyone is incorrect. It is 7 days.
7 days. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I guess. Sorta.
Makes more
I'll go
sense
next.
than Nazi shit
Right.
writer.
I'll go next. These questions all come from Kayla, who sent
Kayla.
them like 2 weeks ago, and I've been holding on to them. So thank you, Kayla. All right. How old was Steven Spielberg when he directed Jaws?
21.
19.
He's 20, isn't
You're
he?
both wrong. You're both wrong. He was 26 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
We were way younger. I remember being young. Whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, he still looks good for his age then.
Yeah.
That's why I thought he'd be younger.
Mhm.
All right. So my first question comes to us from Kayla. I don't remember when she sent it, but I've been holding on to it for a long time. What is the subtitle for From Dusk Till Dawn Part 2?
Texas Blood Money or Texas Heat.
That's it. That's
Texas
exactly
Blood Money.
Yep.
Nice. That's with the T-1000 of Terminator 2.
Yep. That's right.
Robert Patrick. There you go.
Robert Patrick?
Mhm.
I've always
Number 3 is good, man. I'll say it every time. Number 3 is excellent.
Have I watched 3? I feel like I watched the whole series not too long ago.
What's 3 subtitle? That's a question. I don't know.
Part
Did
3
you watch
is
the TV
Hangman's
series?
Daughter.
Hangman's Daughter. Yeah.
I
I
gave
never
3.5
watched.
stars. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I never watched the series. Was it good?
No, I didn't watch it. I watched the first episode, and it was almost like a shot for shot of the movie. So I was like, oh, this is
Really?
interesting. And then, then I just didn't continue on with it because I was like, well, this isn't as good as the movie.
Yeah. Number 2 is the worst one of the series for sure.
That's Bruce Campbell, isn't it?
Very briefly, and then the elevator at some point. Yeah.
Like Congo, where he gets his eye ripped out.
Yeah,
by
basically. Yeah.
which we should cover at one point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting.
Congo? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Tim Curry's awesome in that.
Is he in
I
that
haven't
one?
seen
I
that
don't
one.
remember that at
Yeah,
all.
he's the like the adventurer guy that
Oh.
helps them out.
That's the one where she's like sign languages, right?
And Ernie Hudson.
the-
And, yeah,
the
it's
ape,
it's
yeah.
a great cast.
Nice.
Or the gorilla.
Yeah. That's it. Me,
Cool.
Amy, I think. I think that's her
Yeah, Amy.
name. All right. So that's Todd now.
This movie features a flying metal killer ball.
Oh, it's Phantasm.
Phantasm. I
Correct,
think
Steve.
got it.
Yep.
All right. The Last House on the Left was originally released in 1972. What year was the remake released?
2003.
I'm going 2009.
Todd on the fucking
Yeah,
money,
nice.
baby.
Yeah,
is
baby.
2000.
I'm back, baby.
Fuck
Got
yeah,
that
baby.
Texas barbecue, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
I'm fucking sweating brisket.
All right. So this is my 4-clue type game.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Let's do it, baby.
Are you guys ready?
Love it.
Feeling it.
Yes.
Airplane,
Okay. Airplane.
Cartoons. Racism.
Snakes on a plane.
Wrong.
Okay.
And kick the can. Airplane, cartoons, racism, and kick the can.
I feel like when you say it, it's going to be like, oh,
Yeah, probably.
racism, kick the can.
Airplane and cartoons.
Man.
You guys give up?
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah. Nothing's coming to my head.
All right. Those are the 4 segments in the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh, boy. You tricky bastard. The Vietnam one was racism one, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think kick the can was the most obvious because it's like very specific to that
The older
movie.
people one, right?
Yeah.
Damn. That was a good one.
Thanks.
Shoot.
All right, Todd, last round.
All right. This 1981 direct sequel takes place on the same night as the original.
Oh my God, I feel like I know this.
It's
not Friday the 13th Part 3?
That, please.
It is not Friday the 13th Part 3. So let's show. Gets a guess. This 1981 direct sequel takes place on the same night as the original.
Oh, Halloween 2?
Exactly.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Last one for me. Follow that line. So I will say a line from a movie, and you are to follow the direct next line from it. Don't you understand, Rachel?
Okay, so it's a quote from Friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Rachel. I can't even think of a Rachel in a horror movie.
We were on a break.
I will tell you the movie.
Yeah.
The Ring.
Oh.
Don't you understand, Rachel?
You can't watch the tape.
It's a pretty good guess.
It's a good guess.
I have no idea.
You're gonna die in 7 days. She lives in the TV.
Don't answer the phone.
Throwing shit out there. You gotta wear a condom.
It is the little boy.
Oh.
Don't you understand? Don't you understand, Rachel? She never sleeps.
Oh. She
yeah,
never sleeps.
Did not remember that one at all.
Nope. I haven't seen The Ring or The Ring 2 or Ringu.
Double feature. We should do a double feature.
I like it. Ringu and Ring or Ring and Ring 2?
Ringu and Ring.
Yeah.
Oh, Ring and Ring. It's too good. I don't remember Ring 2.
Not really.
I don't remember well either, but I remember being like
all 3
okay.
of them. Fuck it.
Rings was terrible.
Yeah, Rings was.
Oh, I never saw that.
So it was bad.
All right, gents, it's that time of the week again.
60 seconds.
60 seconds.
Oh my God, we should do. I just thought we should also consider doing the Ring versus the Grudge movie. They made.
No. Almost 60 seconds starring Nicolas Cage.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Oh boy.
All right, Todd.
I'll do it. Yep.
Are you ready?
Steal?
If I fail, yeah.
After 60 seconds, you get 1 question and then 1 guess. Are you ready, Todd?
All right, let's do this.
And go.
Slasher.
No.
Ghosts.
Kind of.
Demonic.
Kind of.
Demons.
Kind of.
Possession.
Yes. There is a possession in.
Is it The Conjuring?
No.
Is it 2010s and up?
No.
2000s and below?
No.
1990s?
Yes.
Is it Star Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No.
Does it feature nudity?
No.
Is it a mainstream movie?
Yes.
And has one possession. It has a possession in it. Is it a rated R movie?
I don't think so.
Is it really bloody?
No.
Is it The Others?
No.
Is it set place in modern times, like 90s or whatever?
It's set, yeah, in its time.
Okay.
Right. Final guess.
It's not Kevin Bacon's Stir of Echoes.
No.
Sure.
Joe?
That was my guess. That was a joke.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay. No.
That was the 90s.
Joe,
anyway.
1 question, 1.
I mean, I'm terrible at this too, Todd. So don't worry about it.
I've gotten like 1 out of 5.
Is it?
Yeah, you can ask a question.
After 1995,
Yes.
Okay.
95 to 99. Here we go. Cooking with gas now,
Alright.
baby.
Yes, we are. And it's so it sounds like it's some sort of let's go with From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wrong. It is 1999's The Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
Okay.
What possession we talking about? Blair Witch Project?
Mike gets possessed at the end to go to the corner, right?
I don't know.
Isn't the legend like he knows you're gonna die? So
Yeah,
she's
but
like, get in the corner,
I-
motherfucker.
I don't know. I think he's possessed.
It's questionable.
Yeah.
It's questionable.
All right.
That's what I was saying, kind of, right?
They're the
not clear.
judges. Steve is negative 1 point for that one.
All right, Joe, you ready?
Yes.
Good movie, man. I feel like watching that.
Yeah, me too. After watching this, it made me want to watch that. All right.
Drive cam or dash cam.
Dash cam.
Dashcam.
All right, Joe, you ready?
Yes.
Go.
Are you ready? 60
Okay.
seconds.
Is it 2000s?
No.
90s, 80s, 70s, 60s.
80s.
Okay. Okay, 80s. 80 does it after 85?
No.
Okay. Early 80s.
Mhm.
Is it demons?
Not really.
Not really. Ghosts.
No,
Slasher.
not really.
Okay. Shit. Is there famous people in it?
Yes.
Very famous?
Yes.
Major theater release?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Does it have Jamie Lee Curtis in it?
No.
Okay. Does it have Tom Atkins in it?
No.
Shit.
Oh, yes, it does have Tom Atkins in it. Sorry.
Oh, it does have Tom Atkins
It
in
does
it.
have
Tommy
Tom
Okay.
Atkins.
Is it Halloween 3?
No.
Mm.
Shit. Is it Night of the Creeps?
No. I'll give you one more question because there's kind of a ghost in it. So
Okay.
I said no, but there is.
Kind of a ghost.
Okay. Is there fog in it?
Yes. A little bit. Yeah. All right. Final guess.
that was a bad answer. The fog.
No.
Okay, I
Alright.
figured not when you said not really.
It's Tommy Atkins in it. Kind of got a ghost. Early 80s, major release. I was gonna say Bruiser, but that's 90s. I don't know.
No guess.
No.
Is 1982's Creep Show.
Damn.
Oh,
We need a.
yes.
There's a pattern. Steve gets like really popular movies that we just can't guess.
Well, I'm trying to go with
We're
really popular
stupid.
movies for you guys. I'm not going with like obscure
We're
shit.
just
you know?
stupid, right?
We're just
Yeah.
not good at this game.
Tom Atkins isn't in the cast list here, but I know he plays the dad, so that's
Yeah,
why
he's
I
in it.
listed.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
All right, 2 for me, 1 for Joe, 1 for Steve tonight. That brings it up to Todd 7, Joe 5, Steve 6 for the quarter. Now we need to talk about a title that doesn't make any sense to this movie.
Yeah, well,
Because why? Because there's no dash cam. It's on her fucking head.
I think it started as a dash cam at one point.
I guess, but it's like facing her. Is it still a dash cam if it's facing her and not the road?
It's really not a dash cam, yeah. I got to agree.
All right, dash cam. 2021, or actually 2022, sorry. Directed by Rob Savage, who did The Host. I think it was all in our top 10s in 2020. At the start of the pandemic, an indulgent and self-deluded live streaming improv musician abandons LA for London, steals her ex-bandmate's car, and makes the fateful decision to give a ride to an elderly woman who is not what she seems. So this movie has our main character, Annie Hardy, who is an anti-masker to the max, where it's during the height of COVID, I think. Yeah, it's during the height of COVID. You got mask rules, you got social distancing rules, you have quarantine rules, and blah, blah, blah. And she's very angry at the world for it. She's a cliche, every cliche about this pandemic wrapped up into one. Yells at people for not wearing their mask, puts slave on her mask and shit like that. It's just over the top. So she gets tired of being in America because I guess we have harsh rules. And lo and behold, every other country does too. She goes to England. She breaks into her old band member's house, licks her hand, slaps him in the face. That's not gross ever, especially during COVID. But you can clearly see that she's not wanted because it's a fucking pandemic and you're like not taking it seriously. So this girl is very like full of herself too, to creepy and like annoying fashions. Like she's right, everyone else is wrong. Meanwhile, she has this like show that she drives around the city with, and she's rapping about random things to a live stream. She's got a little followers, things like that. Long story short, though, she's hanging out with her friend. They kick her out because, like, hey, like you impose on us, and you were like making my job a living hell because we're trying to do DoorDash, and you're refusing to follow the business's protocols for COVID. So get out of here. Steals his car, starts doing his job through his DoorDash app or whatever they call it, and then picks up a stranger, and then things go wrong from there. This is a tough sell for me. Go good stuff. I really like some of the gore. That was on point. Some of the scares were very effective. The clever use of camera angles. This definitely looked like The Host. You can tell this guy has his trademark, and it was on whatever you want to call it. They were showing it for this movie, and I'll leave it at that for the good stuff for now.
Okay. So I love found footage movies. I love the found footage genre. It's definitely one of my favorite subgenres of horror. So I was really looking forward to this one, and I really enjoyed Rob Savage's Host. It wasn't in my top 10, but it was very close to being in my top 10. From last year? Was it
2020?
Whenever that came out, 2020, yeah. And we interviewed him for that movie. If you'd like to go back and hear and listen to that at some point. So yeah, I had pretty high expectations for this one, and yeah, I mean, I fucking hated this movie like with a passion, man. Like it's very frustrating because there were times where I felt this was going in the right direction, and then it would completely go back into the wrong direction almost immediately. Like, so yeah, I mean, the lead character here, like, it was a bold choice, right? Like, to make your lead character like a completely unlikable person. And I think even if your politics fall under like her politics, I still think she's a shitty person. Like, I still don't think you can really like her. Like, sure, you can agree with her shit, but she's still like she fucking steals her friend's car. She's fucking going around like just being a complete and utter nuisance to the world and to the people. It was just interesting. I mean, obviously, like, Rob Savage was trying to say a lot in this movie with like politics and the war and the pandemic and stuff.
Can I interrupt right there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What was he going for? Because
I took this as a parody. Like, she was a parody, like, of like
all these people
right
wrapped
wing,
into
like
one.
of like right wing extremists. Like, and I feel like he is not in support of those politics, and he's on the other side, and he was using like this as like a joke. Like, he was like to make fun of them. That's how it felt to me. I mean, I don't know.
But why make that your main character? Because she didn't. She didn't have an arc. She was like that the entire time.
Right. No,
that's where they went wrong.
Right. That's why this movie just doesn't work for me, because she's such an unlikable character. She's such a shitty person. It's like really hard for me, like, when you can't root for someone in a movie. And there was a side character here, her roommate, her ex bandmate, who I guess was the guy who kind of Stretch. Yeah. He was like the one likable character, but like, he's such a side character that it's not like someone you can go along for the ride with the whole time, because you're with Annie. She's the person you're following for this entire movie, and she fucking sucks. And the dialogue is so cringeworthy, like, in this, and she's fucking like doing this rap shit through the whole movie. And then, like, even when shit hits the fan, she still manages to fucking do these raps, even though she's by herself. I'm like, who the fuck is doing this? Like, when you have these fucking psychotic demons, whatever. That's the other problem, is we never find out what the fuck is going on in this movie, like, at all. There's not any sort of explanation. It's just like, you take it for what it is. Whereas Host, you did get an explanation. It was a seance gone wrong. This movie is so chaotic that is another big issue for me in this movie. So to me, this movie is a big fucking mess, and I hated it.
I don't even know where to fucking begin with this one.
Why don't you begin with the movie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to Smoothie again, because that's the only thing that runs with the movie.
Oh, my God. I always talk about I want to finish every film I watch, and I've sat through some shit over the years. This is maybe one of the first ones that, had we not been reviewing it, I would have turned this shit off 10 minutes in. It just, was awful on so many levels. And what makes this frustrating for me is two things. One, that I enjoyed Host so much, so I was expecting more. But two, take Annie's character out, and this could have been actually a solid film, because the horror part and the gore part were actually really fucking cool. But I couldn't get my mind off the character of Annie, which felt like what I would assume is what foreigners think Americans are like, at the extreme, obviously, right? And I know this, I am a foreigner to Americans. Now, obviously, I know Americans. I know that's not what they're like, but I feel that if you only watch the news and have never actually met an American, this is probably what you assume Americans are like, especially in the last like 4 or 5 years, And it was awful. It was just unwatchably awful, and I couldn't get I couldn't even concentrate on what the fuck was going on story wise, because I was so distracted by how awful this character was. And I get what he's doing. He's creating controversy, he's creating points where people are going to talk about this online, but in 2 months no one's going to fucking remember this movie, and that's the problem. He's getting talking points now, but you want a movie that's more memorable, something that's going to kind of stand the test of time. I think Host is a little bit there because it's a capsule of what we went through at the beginning of COVID, whereas this one is just a fucking mess. And there are some things that I like, and we'll go into the details, but overall I hated this movie. Like really, really passionately hated this movie. And one of the weirdest things, and I always say the opposite almost every single week, I always say a movie is too long. I actually felt this one was maybe a little too short, because it ends so abruptly and without any explanations that I almost wish there was another 10 minutes without that fucking character, but 10 minutes of just kind of bringing all together all the stuff that we had seen. Because like Joe said, the shots are so quick and they come at you in your face, and there's so much going on that you don't really decipher what the fuck's going on. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, I was thankful it was so short, because I
Yeah,
struggled
me
with
too.
it. The first 10 minutes, I was like, I can't, if this is going to be what it's going to be, I can't do it. I just
Yeah.
can't. Regardless of like political leanings, either way, like the majority of the world does not like this person. The
Right.
majority of the world did not act like this during COVID. You know what I mean? They're always the loudest people, so they get the more like, they're on Facebook and all that bullshit. These people, oh my God, just shut up, dude. The world does not revolve around you. And she's so cringy. She breaks into her old friend's house and wakes him and his girlfriend up, and it's like, get away from people, man. Leave them alone. And then like going through the shop, and like he's like polite, hey, can you put your mask on, please? This is an invisible mask, and starts like throwing his shit around in the restaurant. And it's like, oh my God, I just couldn't do it. And then I think Joe mentioned too, there's points where I'm like, okay, the majority of her being stupid is done. Now we're getting to the horror stuff. But then something cool would happen, and then she would do like a stupid joke, or like a stupid "get away from me, you slut," or you semen demon," or something. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or
No
she'll
one's
just yell
talking like
out
that.
like, she'd be like, "Oh my God, dick's in my ass. Oh, holy
Yes.
shit. What the
No
fuck?"
one's
Yeah, I'm like,
talking
what
like
the
that.
fuck? Like no one talks like that in real life. Like, especially like in a massive like situation like that,
Yeah.
where you're completely panicking. It just completely took me out of like any sort of horror elements there were in this movie. But I do agree with you guys. The horror elements were pretty solid in this. Like,
Yeah.
but man, it's just completely wasted on just such a trash script.
Yeah, I wish Stretch would have been the main character. He was likable. He was
Yeah.
nice, cool guy.
Totally. Yeah, she could have been the side character, and it might have been more tolerable.
Yeah, then killed her
absolutely.
off, and then we would have cheered for
Right.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Eesh.
Oh, definitely. So, what the fuck is going on though in this movie?
Is it aliens?
So, man, no. I mean, I guess to me, it's like some sort of satanic cult. I guess maybe because like we get the
on the
go
sidebar,
ahead.
they said be careful. There's been a lot of abductions reported in that area. At that
Yeah,
restaurant.
right.
But
who knows
I don't know really.
Who knows what's real in those comments and what's not? Because
Yeah.
there's like a lot of bullshit scrolling up through. And then my other big problem with this movie is it breaks the rules of found footage. There's no reason to keep filming. Like, why is she holding on to that camera the whole time? There's zero reason for it. There's not like I don't remember there being a light on it per se or anything. So like, why is she continuously like picking the camera up, going with it? There was no reason for it. And that's a big problem to me too, because the big rule with found footage is there has to be a reason for that camera to stay on and to keep rolling. Otherwise, it's another reason it would take me out. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on, man. Like, so there was also like the woman she picks up was a young girl, but like looked like a 70-year-old woman. Like, what?
Was it a young girl? I thought it was an old woman the whole time.
Yeah,
No, it's a 16-year-old girl with an Ariana Grande tattoo. That's the whole.
Really?
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why
that.
that's why they identified it, because she noticed when she was like helping her shit there, that she had an Ariana Grande tattoo, and she thought that was weird. And when the girl showed a picture of her as a kid, that was the same tattoo. So that's what
Gotcha.
it was.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah,
I don't blame you for missing it, because there's so much fucking because not only do you have her constantly fucking talking, you got whatever's going on screen, which is in found footage, so it's already messy. Plus, you got the fucking scrolling of the comments on the side.
Right.
There's too much going on. Like, there's too much going on.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, the only really part you would even get that, Todd, and you probably missed it because it was quick, but like the mother comes and she's like, "Where's my daughter? Have you seen my daughter?" And like then she pulls like up a picture and they recognize the Ariana Grande tattoo, which is just like another okay, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I took it as a satanic cult, I guess, type deal. I don't know. That was just my interpretation after sitting through it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it too, because there are people chasing her, like trying to kill her the whole movie, and but also at the end it can't really be a satanic cult because she turns into a monster at the end, right? So it had to be some kind of alien or monster presence. Like there's something going on.
She was like hovering in the tree, right? At some point.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
They like so maybe it was kind of like a Lovecraftian type story, like a Cthulhu type thing. I don't know, like because they all just like slit their throats at one point in wherever they're at, in like a lair or something like that. And yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it kind of felt a little bit like taking a Deborah Morgan, but not done properly. You know?
Logan.
Like, Deborah. Logan. Yeah, it's I don't know. It was an odd film, and why'd they keep helping her? It made no sense. Why'd they keep bringing her into the car and just acting like they're gonna do something just because some girl at the beginning gave her money? Like that makes no fucking sense at all. The second that she's bleeding and people are attacking her, I'd be like, I'm out. Goodbye. And this girl obviously doesn't have a heart, so why is she of all people helping this girl? Like It makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And then like when they're in the middle of all this bullshit too, like I think the girlfriend calls and then she starts getting like bullying into her political rants again and stuff like that. It's like, what are we doing like with this film? And yeah, I don't know, man. Is it a horror comedy? Is that what, right? Because I mean, there's like a lot of quote unquote comedic moments in this, or that are supposed to be comedic, I guess, that I didn't laugh once, but like it's just such a weird there's just such weird tonal shifts throughout this movie. I didn't know like exactly what the fuck he was trying to do.
Yeah, I think politically he may be on Annie's side because she's our hero at the end of the day.
I don't think so, because
she doesn't die. Does she die? No, right?
No, she doesn't die. Fucking unfortunately. I actually wrote that at the beginning. I'm like, I hope this girl dies. I've never wanted a character to die more in my life. My last line is, "Fuck, they didn't kill her."
Kill her for real there.
I really think it's a parody, like Joe said, because first she hits all of the subjects, right? She's the anti-masker.
She's got a fucking memo list. Okay, I gotta say this.
Okay, you got the MAGA hat, you got the anti-liberal shirt, you have her bedroom, which is full of crosses, some religious nut. I think it's definitely parody, but maybe it's too, I don't know, maybe it's too relevant to today, or
it's not subtle at all, for sure.
It's not subtle whatsoever, and that's maybe what it needed. It needed more subtlety or something, but holy shit, I couldn't. There's a few scenes I want to discuss if you guys don't have anything else. Oh my god. Okay, we talked about the rapping, which I fucking hate. Let's see.
Hold on, question for you guys. Who would you rather hang out with? I got two questions now, actually. Who would you rather hang out with? The kid from The Visit that raps, or her?
Oh, any day in the week.
In a car for 8 hours.
The kid.
I would rather take a fucking worldwide trip with the kid from The Host and the kid from fucking Psycho Goreman in the backseat than having 1 hour with Jim.
That was my next question, Steve. Psycho Goreman girl or this girl?
Oh my god, she makes the Psycho Goreman girl look like a fucking angel in comparison.
She will definitely. I think that I think we can already award her worst character of the year award in a horror
Absolutely.
movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no topping this.
No, I hope not. Holy shit. So is she the worst fucking driver ever? She
I
crashes
know,
the car
crashes all the time.
4 times in the movie.
Right. Kills a bride and groom at one point too.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty cool scene though, I gotta say.
It was.
The bride and groom. But again, the camera was so shaky at that point that I wasn't really sure what was going on. You know, I was kind of getting things here and there, but then there's the really cool arm break that in that scene, which I really loved. That was like out of nowhere. But then again, so she does that really cool arm break on that, I think it was a woman. And then what does she do? She points the camera and starts like taunting her about like not wearing a mask and shit.
Right.
What the fuck does that, like, that makes
Doesn't
no
she
sense.
say like, "Here's your mat, wear your mask, bitch," or something?
Yeah, something.
stupid
And
like that.
she's like on camera, like taunting
Ugh.
her. It's just, you know, constant shit like that. How did this phone survive? Like, what phone company is this that I could buy?
Nokia, classic Nokia.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
She has 2 phones, right?
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah, she has one that she's holding and one on her head.
Yeah, so the head one
Yeah.
makes sense, but the one holding doesn't.
No,
No.
exactly.
Yeah, because like the other, it could have been a GoPro, I guess, right? Like that's how it survived underwater and shit.
But it wasn't, because you see her put it on. It's like an actual phone. So
okay, well then it shouldn't have survived. Then
No, it shouldn't have
That's
survived.
like a great fucking battery, those phones, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Jeez.
kidding. There's also the mass suicide scene, which was really interesting. See, that's the kind of stuff I liked about this movie. Yeah, it was like out of nowhere. It was creepy. It was unsettling. Yeah, just, oh my god, I just couldn't do this fucking
Yeah,
movie.
the horror stuff's good,
Wow.
man, but
it
Yeah.
was, yeah,
it's got this girl.
it really was. Yeah, it just, yeah, it's, man, like I don't know, it's just, yeah, Savage. I would actually really love to hear an interview with him about this movie, like to see what kind of his thoughts were going into this one or whatever. Because obviously, like his first movie was, I guess I don't know if he's thinking like a COVID trilogy, if he's gonna do another one here, but yeah, man, this was just a massive letdown for me especially after Host. I think bringing like politics into your movie it could be a good idea, but when you do it this like in your face and just beat over your head with it one way or the other, it's just never going to work. Even like in a parody scenario, it just like, especially with a horror movie too, I think like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before in different types of movies. Like I'd rather just have my horror straight, you know. No.
Yeah.
Well, plus
I
too,
mean,
like,
look at like guys like Romero, right? Like he brings politics in his movie, but it's in a very smart way and a very subtle way. And then
literally
you get
his is like, yeah, and like Night of the Living Dead, a black man is leading the group of whites, and that's his political statement. Even though it wasn't meant to be, we know that, but it was more subtle than this girl literally saying every single thing in the playbook from the last 3 years we would listen to. Plus,
Yeah.
like, at least redeem her, at least make her a good character at the end, and drop her fucking, maybe, you know, it would have been interesting too if like that was just a character she was playing, you know what I mean, for views and likes, and then once stuff started happening, she
That would've
turned
been
into her
interesting.
normal self, and then okay,
Yeah.
she's a normal person, she's not a piece of shit, and that was just a character. I think we
Right.
would have, and then if that happened and the horror stuff stayed, I think this movie would have been, it's a good movie. There's
Yeah.
a good movie in here, a really good one.
I think that, yeah,
Unfortunately, she never
I think so.
changes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. And like you said, Dashcam makes no fucking sense.
None.
When Sam
I picture
asked,
cops. I picture cops with Dashcam.
Sam
Yeah.
asked me, she's like, so what's this movie about? And before I even looked it up, I was like, I think it's like about like police dash cam footage, like where they go out and like thing. And then I'm like, nope, not that at all. And yeah, so yeah, there's just a lot wrong with this movie.
Actually, funny enough, I was looking at the upcoming Netflix films that are in the next like 2 weeks, and one of them is called Body Cam, which is exactly that.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh,
So I'm gonna check that out.
That's
It's actually a
interesting.
2022 film coming out in 2 weeks on Netflix. So
interesting.
that's what I thought this would be as well, right? Or Dashcam, like it was on the hood of the car,
Mhm.
but it was so little of it that made no sense. Joe, I did have a question for you. Being
Sure.
our resident, found footage, expert, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try.
How did you find like the camera movement in this one? Because I thought it was a little too hectic, because a lot of scenes I didn't know what the fuck was going on. It's just like things are flying away and you see a lot of stuff, and then you see something really cool for like 2 seconds, and then
Mhm.
so how did you feel about it?
I would say it was on par for a movie like this type. Like, I don't think it was any more chaotic. Like, I just think the chaoticness of it was the introduction of the chat. So like you're trying to read the chat and you're trying to watch that. So it made it even more like chaotic. And then just with her character and stuff. But yeah, no, I don't think it was any more shaky or chaotic than some of the other when you got crazy shit going on like that. So yeah, that didn't bother me, and I don't think it was any different than most other found footage ones like that.
How did you think of it, Todd? Like, did you find it was too much shaky?
No, I thought it was pretty par for the course.
Yeah, see, I thought it was too shaky. Like, I'll take Blair Witch as an example. Yes, there was a lot of shakiness, when they're running through the woods and stuff, but they also linger shots for a while when it was something important, whether it was showing the symbols or Mike in the corner or like little things, or like when the writing on the wall, it would linger enough to know what's going on, and the shakiness was just more part of the scares. Whereas there's a lot of things I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what characters were involved. There are people, I'm not sure, are they cultists that are coming into this, but they're brought in and brought out so quickly that I didn't even register what the fuck their point was. I don't know, just a lot of stuff like that. Like at one point, the old lady is like gone, she's doing whatever she's doing, and then she's back in the car. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, how is she back in the car? I have no idea how she made it back into the car, and everyone's like just fine with it. It was weird. So that's why I think it's too hectic for me, I think.
Yeah. And she also shit herself.
She did. Yeah.
At one point.
No.
I got a nice close up of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah, there's a lot of like blood out of her mouth, out of her, cooter, out of her. It was just, it was a weird situation. But I guess it's because the monster was coming out of her. Is that what that was supposed to be? Yeah. Who knows, right?
Who knows?
That's kind of the problem with this movie. Who knows, like, what was actually going on? That's too bad, because the horror was cool, but if they had more focus and that character gone, this could have been something. But damn. Yeah, but people like it. I'm following people on social media, and they love this movie. Yeah, I don't know. I really wanted to like this one, and I just couldn't.
Yeah, same. I had high hopes for it, but I'm gonna be a little more reserved on Rob Savage's next film. That's for sure. After this one, because now he made one pretty good one and one terrible one. So we'll see what he does on his next one. I don't think he can do much worse than this, though. So I think he can only go up from here, unless he decides to make a 50-foot Cam Girl sequel or something.
Starring this girl.
Right. Yeah. I'm actually super.
Oh my God, the 50-foot Annie.
So I really want to see her in an interview, because I want to know what she's like. So they use her real name.
She's the opposite.
Yeah, she uses her real name in the movie, and I don't know if that was a good choice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right.
Because does she really want to forever be associated with that role? It's a weird choice to me. But this is a movie full of weird choices, so who knows?
Yeah, including the post-credit scene where she raps every single person's name in the entire movie in freestyle.
I'm glad I missed that.
Yeah, you should be glad. It was just as bad as the rest of the movie.
All right, rate it.
Sure. I think you're gonna know where everyone stands on this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up with the lowest, surprisingly, out of everyone on this. But man, like, even though the horror elements were good, the rest of the movie was so bad. I would never watch this movie again. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. So despite there being some decent stuff in here, it's still fucking trash. I'm giving it a 3.
Ooh, I think that's the lowest score you've ever given.
Maybe. One of them.
Yeah, I mirror exactly what you said. I cannot recommend this for any reason, because it's not even like a cool cringe. It's just like I'm mad and annoyed cringe. I'm really upset that I spent $5.99 or whatever on this movie. I'm when I was watching it too, I'm like, before I got into it, I'm like, I wonder why Shudder didn't pick this up, since his last movie was so big. And I'm like, this is why. Never mind. Yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and that was just because I know that there's a good movie in here, but it's not what we got. So 2 out of 5, or I guess a 4 out of 10, something like that. Which is pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I'm sorry to say you were wrong. I hated this movie. And even though there's a glimmer of a great movie in here, the fact that A, it was messy as hell, B, had the most unlikable character maybe ever, and C, I would never watch that again, let alone recommend it to anyone. The only thing I'm giving it is the little bit of horror. I'm giving it an extra point, but I give it a 2 out of 10. I hated this fucking movie.
Woo!
Brutality.
Yeah, it's a one star on
Oh boy.
on Letterboxd.
Nice.
It's just one level above Tickles the Clown. You know?
That's
Oof. I really, really, really hated myself for watching this fucking movie. So, and the fact that I paid for it was like,
yeah, seriously.
I almost bought it too because that's how confident I was. It was only like an extra, I don't know, like $13 to buy it. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I won't. And then
I'm glad you didn't.
so glad. I
Yeah,
did.
me too.
Yeah.
It's
This
terrible.
could be our most scathing review ever for a new
Yeah.
movie, anyway. Maybe for any.
It's definitely first on the worst list.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
I don't
thus
think
far.
there's gonna be a worst. I think
Also-
it's probably. It is gonna be the worst movie of the year.
It sucks, and that's why I give it more points than you guys, because I know there's a good movie here, man, but it's fucked. Like, he missed it completely,
Yeah.
and it's all because of that one character who unfortunately is in 99.9% of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So sucks.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Don't watch it.
Nope.
Avoid it.
No.
Save your money.
No.
If you're
I feel like
interested,
people
wait
are
till
gonna
Shudder.
want to watch it though now because we all fucking hate it so much. Like, oh, now I gotta see how bad it really is.
Wait for Prime. Wait for Shutter. Wait for
Yeah. Oh
Netflix,
yeah.
whatever
Don't
Yeah.
don't give them your money for this one. Wait
No,
for free.
fuck, damn it, Rob. You
It'll-
owe me fucking
it'll-
$5.
It will definitely hit streaming soon because I don't.
But
What's
hey,
it
you know
sitting
what?
on Letterboxd right now?
Like a 2.5 or something.
And people like it. Like I'm telling you, on Twitter,
Yeah,
people are
2.6.
really, really like sucking this movie's dick. So it's
You sound like Annie, bro.
right. Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
looking
know.
at this actress's Instagram, and it's like I can't even tell who she is from this. It's just a bunch of memes.
Is this her only movie,
I think so.
or has she done anything else?
Maybe.
She has 4 film credits.
Good for her. It's not her. It's a character. You know what I mean?
It
But
is. But
Right,
like,
right.
She played the character great. I mean,
She
she's a
did.
character.
Yeah.
but like, using her real name.
Oof.
Actually,
Boy.
look, if you look, all her movies are her real name.
I wonder if she's
Interesting.
homies with Mr. Savage.
Do you know?
Who
She-
I had the hardest time finding this movie on Amazon Prime because I kept fucking searching for Fred Savage. And I'm like, I cannot find this fucking movie. Like, I cannot get this. And then fucking Rob.
Interestingly enough, there is another horror movie called Dashcam that came
There
out a
is.
few years ago that a lot of people are watching in as a mistake. So props to that movie. That's probably getting a lot of love right now.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I guess she's a singer in real life. I think. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Honestly, if she's not like this, maybe she'll get my award for like best actress of the year because yeah, I need to watch the interview with her. I really need to know what she's like.
Interestingly enough, Rob Savage is actually teaming up with Sam Raimi on a movie coming up.
I thought this was it.
I don't think this was it.
Oh,
It is.
I think
I
she's
hope
really
not.
like this in real life, guys. I'm looking at a meme that she posted about
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
really?
what's his face? The dude that did a bunch of computers and is like a philanthropist and stuff.
Oh,
Elon
Snowden.
Musk?
No. He's older. He went to jail, and it's like a famous mugshot, and he's a computer guy.
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates. Like, she has a video of him quoting like natural disasters in quotation marks, stuff like that. So maybe this
Oh.
is truly her.
Yeah. Rob Savage's IMDb right now has it listed as an untitled Sam Raimi
Oh, okay.
Rob Savage project. So
Eesh,
sounds
boy.
like they're coming out, and he's also in development in post production on an adaptation of Stephen King's The Boogeyman.
Stephen
Interesting.
King's The Boogeyman. I didn't even know Stephen King made a
I-
movie called The Boogeyman.
Neither did I.
I think it's a short
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I have enough. I still think he's a good director. You know, I would watch his next movie. It's not like I'm,
Well, I'll
Shut-
definitely
shut
watch
him.
it too. Yeah.
but
Right.
this one was just whew, not it.
Yeah. No, like I think it's just the writing was really bad here. I think the directing was fine, but the writing was just really, which he did write this too. So
But I need a palate cleanser after this one. Let me tell you.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. What are we doing next week? Any thoughts?
Congo. Let's.
Congo.
Can we find it? Where's it at?
I bet on Blu-ray. You could play.
I'll freaking buy it on Blu-ray right now if you're gonna watch that movie. I'll fucking buy that movie. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, me too. Actually, that's why.
I just remember albino apes, Bruce Campbell for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Damn, $21 Blu-ray for this fucking thing. Well, I committed to it. If we're gonna watch it, I'll buy it.
Well, I was just throwing it out there. I'm not actually serious with that.
$21 my ass.
Jurassic World's out next week.
Yeah, I have tickets.
Ooh, we can do that. I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard, but
I don't think it's far
that's
enough.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've 4DX tickets on Thursday for
Let's
it.
just watch Dashcam again.
Yeah.
We got Black
Just take-
Phone.
2 weeks.
Black
I
Phone
think,
in
right?
2 weeks.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
looks cool.
I'm excited for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
What's on
Then
the
we got
agenda? What's on the
Jordan Peele's
horizon?
Nope.
No.
We got Black Phone,
Black
Jordan
Phone.
Peele's Nope.
Halloween.
What else? Halloween.
Evil Dead.
Evil
Dead.
Rise. Stupid title.
Mm-hmm. What else?
There's-
I have a little list on my phone. One second.
Congo. I wonder if it's
2022.
streaming somewhere else.
It's streaming well, no, it's not streaming for free here anyway. Let's see.
is
Halloween
not
ends.
streaming.
Salem's Lot. I'm kind of looking forward to, but we haven't seen anything
Yeah,
yet, so I don't know.
That could be good.
We'll see.
And we'll figure it out.
There's our Predator. Was it Prey? The Predator movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Predator's coming out soon.
Yeah. There's some stuff. Hocus Pocus.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out.
Alright.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And on the Discord.
All right, let's close this out because I'm gonna go
Alrighty.
out with my mates, and we're gonna have McDonald's delivered with Postmates. Make haste. So stupid. I hate it so much, man. I hate it.
That's it. All right. Well, guys, that's it for episode number 230 of Dashcam. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social medias and whatnot. Also, our YouTube page. Let's not forget about our YouTube page. Steve works very hard on that. So go check out the Horror Squad podcast. Go and subscribe to that over on YouTube. We have merch available. That is definitely the best way to support our podcast. You can go buy some merch. We are on TeePublic. Just search the Horror Squad podcast and you will find us on there. And then, social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just search the Horror Squad podcast. Basically, just search the Horror Squad podcast and you'll pretty much find us where you want to find us, except for Discord. Discord, you have to private message us on any of our social medias or all of us privately, and we will send you a link. So that's it. We don't know what we're doing next week for 231, but follow us on our Discord, of course, and that is the best way to keep up with us. So that is it, and we'll see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.